Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. If you have been waiting for a sign, if you've been waiting for the moment the tectonic plates of Philippine basketball would shift beneath our feet, then today is that day. We are not just talking about roster updates. We are not just talking about trade rumors or simple contract signings. We are talking about a fundamental changing of the guard, a restructuring of the hierarchy, and potentially the beginning of the single greatest era in the history of the Philippine Basketball Association and our national team, Gilas Pilipinas. Breaking news has just reached our desk, and it is absolute fire. The headlines are screaming, the forums are ablaze, and insiders are scrambling to verify what could be the biggest homecoming story we have seen in decades. First, let's talk about the man of the hour, the sniper, the Phil-Australian sensation who's been lighting up the PBA with the TNT Tropang Giga. We are talking about Jordan Heading. Confirmed reports indicate that Heading is not just available, he is officially heading back to Gilas Pilipinas duty after his heroic performances in the PBA Season 50 Philippine Cup. Specifically that explosion in Game 5 against Meralco, where he dropped 31 points and literally stole the game. The national team program has seen enough. Jordan Heading is locking in. He is re-entering the Gilas fold with a vengeance, bringing that elite perimeter shooting and size that we have desperately craved on the international stage. But his return isn't just about filling a roster spot. It is a signal that the synergy between the PBA and Gilas is reaching an all-time high. But wait, if you think Jordan Heading is the biggest story today, you need to sit down. You need to brace yourself. Because the whispers we've been hearing for months, the rumors that were dismissed as fantasy, as impossible, as mere fan fiction, are suddenly gaining terrifying traction. We are looking at the big three of the Filipino exodus. The three pillars of our future, who we thought were destined to spend their primes in Japan, Korea, or chasing the NBA dream abroad. Sotto, Dwight Ramos, Kevin Quiambao. Multiple sources in recent interviews are now pointing to a singular, earth-shattering reality. The interest to play in the PBA is real. The desire to come home is real. And we aren't talking about a retirement tour 10 years from now. We are talking about the prime of their careers. We are talking about the possibility of the PBA Season 51 draft becoming the single most loaded draft class in history. Imagine a league where Sotto is patrolling the paint for a local franchise, going toe-to-toe with June Fajardo every conference. Imagine Dwight Ramos, the saint of Gilas, bringing his league-hardened physicality to the Araneta Coliseum on a Tuesday night. Imagine King Kevin Quiambao, fresh off his dominance in the UAAP and his stint in the KBO with Goyang Sono, unleashing his triple-double prowess on Philippine soil. Why is this happening? Why now? Is it the rising standard of the PBA? Is it the introduction of the four-point line? Is it the massive contracts? Or is it a coordinated effort to keep the Gilas core together, playing the same calendar, building the kind of chemistry that only prolonged exposure can buy? Today, we're going deep. We're going to dissect the Jordan Heading return and what it means for Coach Tim Cohn's system. We're going to analyze the Season 51 timeline for Dwight Ramos and why he is openly discussing it. We will look at Kevin Quiambao's career trajectory and why the PBA might be the perfect launch pad for his next evolution. And we will talk about Sotto, the Kaiju, and what a PBA stint would actually look like for his NBA aspirations. This is the news you didn't see coming. This is a shift. This is a deep dive. Buckle up, because we're starting right now at... Let's pause for a second and really digest the magnitude of the first headline, Jordan Heading. For the longest time, the narrative around Jordan Heading was one of what if. We saw flashes of his brilliance with Gilas in the past. We saw him light up the international scene with strong group athletics. But there was always this administrative dance. Issues with contracts, issues with availability, the pull of leagues in Taiwan and Japan. But fast forward to the present day, January 2026. Jordan Heading is a TNT Tropang Giga player. He is in the PBA. He is here on local soil, destroying defenses. His performance against Meralco in the semifinals was not just a great game. It was a statement. 31 points. In a do-or-die atmosphere. Taking the ball in his hands in the dying seconds, making a defensive stop, and finishing on the other end. That is Gilas DNA. That is the kind of composure that you cannot teach. You have to forge it in the fire. Coach Tim Cohn has always said he wants a team that plays both sides of the ball and has high basketball IQ. Heading fits this mold perfectly. He is not just a shooter. He is a big guard who can handle the rock, make the right read, and switch defensively. His reintegration into the Gilas program is seamless because he is already playing the PBA-style physicality, but with an international skill set. This move to bring Heading back to Gilas effectively solves one of our biggest perennial problems. Shooting consistency from the wing. We have always had slashers. We have always had athletic guards. But a 6'2" sniper who can come off a stagger screen, square up in 0.5 seconds, and bury a three-pointer against a Japanese or Korean defense. That is a luxury. And now it's a reality. But Jordan Heading is a catalyst. He is the proof of concept. He proves that a Phil Foran or international caliber player can thrive in the PBA and use it as a base for Gilas duty. And this leads us directly into the main event of our discussion today. The rumors that are shaking the very foundations of Philippine basketball. Kai, Dwight, KQ. For years, the Exodus narrative dominated. The best players leave. They go to the B League. They go to the KBL. They go to the NBL. And we, the fans, have to watch them via streams, cheering for foreign teams just to see our boys play. We accepted this because we believed it was the only way for them to get better. We believed the PBA was too small or too stagnant for their growth. But something has changed. The atmosphere has shifted. Let's start with Dwight Ramos, the heart and soul of Gilas, the man who rarely has a bad game. Reports have surfaced, and indeed, Dwight himself has been quoted in interviews expressing an openness, a genuine interest in the PBA draft, specifically looking at the season 51 timeline. Dwight has spent years in the B League with Lavanga Hokkaido. He has paid his dues. He has refined his body, his handle, and his defense. But there comes a point in a player's career where home starts calling. Why would Dwight Ramos consider the PBA now? Think about the leverage. Think about the legacy. In the PBA, Dwight Ramos isn't just an Asian quota import. He is a franchise player. He is the face of the league. He is an MVP contender from day one. The competition level in the PBA has ramped up. The physicality is world-class, sometimes bordering on excessive, sure, but it hardens you. For Dwight, playing in the PBA means he is available for every single FIBA window, without the headache of begging a Japanese club for release. It means he can train with the national team year-round. Then we have Kevin Quiambao, KQ, the back-to-back UAP MVP, the man who conquered the college scene and immediately tested the waters in Korea. Quiambao is a unique specimen. He is a point forward in the truest sense. His vision is elite, but his game is also distinctly Filipino, creative, improvisational, street smart. The KBL is a system-heavy league. It's rigid. While it's great for discipline, does it allow KQ to be KQ? The rumors suggesting Quiambao wants to play in the PBA are fascinating because they suggest a desire for creative freedom. In the PBA, a coach would give Quiambao the keys to Ferrari. Imagine KQ on a team like San Miguel or Ginebra, initiating the offense. The financial packages being rumored for these players are astronomical, likely matching or exceeding what they earn as Asian imports when you factor in endorsements and local marketing power. And finally, the Kaiju, Kai Sotto. This is the most complex piece of the puzzle. Kai's eyes have always been on the NBA, and they still are, but the path to the NBA is not linear. Sometimes you need to dominate a league completely to get that look. We have seen Kai in Australia. We have seen him in Japan. He has been solid. He has improved. But has he been dominant? Has he been the undisputed best player on the floor every night? The argument for Kai Sotto playing in the PBA is controversial, I admit. Critics will say it's a step backward. But let's look at the counter-argument. If Kai Sotto joins the PBA, he becomes a focal point of the entire nation. Every game is a showcase. If he can dominate the PBA, a league known for its physicality and rough tactics against big men, if he can average 25 and 15 here against imports and against June Mar Fajardo, that sends a message. Furthermore, There's the Gilas chemistry factor. Imagine a PBA conference where Sotto, Dwight Ramos, Kevin Quiambao, Jordan Heading, Scotty Thompson, Jumar Fajardo, and CJ Perez are all playing the same league on the same schedule. The national team practices wouldn't be 2-week cram sessions anymore. They could be weekly gatherings. The synergy would be automatic. This is a European model that we have envied for so long, where the domestic league feeds directly into the national team's success. So, the headline is not just hype. It is a potential strategic masterstroke for Philippine basketball. Jordan Heading is the first domino. Sotto, Ramos, and Quiambao could be the avalanche. Now, let's peel back the layers. We need to understand the mechanics of how this would work and the implications for the basketball landscape. This isn't just about 3 or 4 guys changing jerseys. This is about the ecosystem of Philippine basketball evolving in real time. Chapter 1. The Jordan Heading Factor, the modern Gilas prototype. Let's start with the immediate reality, Jordan Heading. Why is his return to Gilas such a critical development? To understand this, we have to look at the modern international game. Look at the teams that are winning in FIBA. Germany, Serbia, Canada, even Japan. What do they have? They have spacing. They have size at the guard position. For years, Gilas Pilipinas relied on the dribble drive offense, which often evolved into small guards trying to penetrate against 7-foot giants. It worked in Asia for a while, but on the world stage, we got blocked. We got stifled. We needed shooters who could punish defenses for collapsing. Jordan Heading is that solution. At 6 feet 2 inches, he isn't small. In the PBA, playing for TNT, he has shown an expanded game. He isn't just spotting up in the corner. He is running pick and rolls. He is finishing through contact. His 31-point explosion in the PBA semifinals was a masterclass in scoring versatility. He hit the three. He hit the floater. He hit the mid-range pull-up. When you put Jordan Heading next to a facilitator like Scotty Thompson or Dwight Ramos, the floor opens up if the defense helps on Sotto in the post. Heading is open if they close out hard on Heading. He can now put the ball on the floor and create. His commitment to Gilas means Coach Tim Cohn has a reliable, high-volume shooter who understands the system. It eliminates the learning curve. Every time a window opens, Heading is here. He is ready, and he provides that crucial bridge between the local style of play and the international standard. Chapter 2. The Big Three Homecoming, Dwight Ramos and the Season 51 Vision. Now, let's talk about Dwight Ramos and this Season 51 buzz. Why specifically Season 51? Dwight is smart. He is calculated. He knows that timing is everything. The PBA is currently in its 50th season, a milestone year. The league is pulling out all the stops. By targeting Season 51, Ramos allows his current contracts in Japan to run their course honorably. He exits the B-League on his own terms. But why the PBA? We have to talk about the import fatigue. Playing as an Asian import is lucrative, but it is also isolating. You are always the outsider. You are always on a 1-year or 2-year deal, constantly fighting for your spot against the next wave of younger Asian talent. In the PBA, Dwight Ramos is royalty. He secures a maximum contract, which, let's be real, with the backing of the giant conglomerates like SMC or MVP Group, can be structured with bonuses that make it very competitive with Japan's salaries. Furthermore, Dwight Ramos is a physical player. The B-League is faster, but the PBA is stronger. Dwight thrives on contact. He loves the mosh pit. His game translates perfectly to the PBA style. He could come in and immediately challenge for the Best Player of the Conference award. But the biggest winner here is Gilas. Dwight Ramos has been the most consistent Gilas player for the last 4 years. But he has also missed windows due to B-League commitments or injury management dictated by his Japanese club. If he belongs to a PBA team, that friction disappears. The PBA has a pro-Gilas agreement. If Tim Cohn needs Dwight, Dwight is there. Period. That consistency is worth its weight in gold for our World Cup aspirations. Chapter 3. Kevin Quiambao, the Unicorn's Dilemma. Kevin Quiambao is a fascinating case. He conquered the UAP so easily it looked like he was playing against high schoolers. He went to the KBL to challenge himself, but reports suggest that the fit hasn't been perfect. The KBL style is very specific. Lots of motion, lots of shooting, but less individual creativity for forwards. KQ is a point forward. He needs the ball. He needs to orchestrate. The PBA is starving for a player like Quiambao. We haven't seen a local with his size and passing ability since maybe a prime Danny Ildefonso or a young Arwin Santos, but KQ handles the ball like a guard. If KQ enters the PBA draft, he changes the trajectory of whichever franchise picks him. He is a franchise cornerstone. But beyond that, playing in the PBA allows him to be the Magic Johnson of the league. He can experiment. He can grow his leadership skills in a language and culture he understands fully. And for Gilas, KQ is the future four-man. He is a guy who pairs with Sotto. Having them play in the same league, maybe even on the same team or as rivals, accelerates their development. They learn each other's tendencies. They develop that unspoken chemistry. I know where Kai wants the ball. I know when KQ is going to cut. That familiarity is what teams like Spain and Argentina have used to beat more talented USA teams for decades. Chapter 4, Sotto, the ultimate gamble. And finally, we address the elephant in the room. Sotto. Why would Kai, who is inches away from NBA consideration, look at the PBA? It's about dominance validation. There's a school of thought that says, to be an NBA player, you don't just need to be a role player in Australia or Japan. You need to show you can destroy a league. The PBA, despite its criticisms, has massive bodies. We have imports who are borderline NBA talents. We have June Fajardo, the 7-time MVP. If Sotto comes to the PBA and averages 12 points and 8 rebounds, the critics will say he isn't ready. But if he comes to the PBA and averages 28 points, 15 rebounds, and 4 blocks, if he leads a team to a grand slam, that footage goes global. That shows dominance. Moreover, the financial aspect cannot be ignored. The offers rumored for Sotto to play in the PBA are historic. We are talking about generation-altering wealth. And let's be honest, the adoration of the Filipino fans is a drug unlike any other. Playing in front of the packed Araneta or Emoy Arena, chanting his name, that gives a player a different kind of confidence. A confidence he can take back to the international stage. Chapter 5, the PBA landscape shift. If these three join the PBA, the power balance of the league shatters. Imagine the draft lottery. The team that gets a number 1 pick and lands Sotto instantly becomes a contender. The team that gets Dwight Ramos gets a leader. The team that gets KQ gets a system. This forces the existing teams to adapt. San Miguel cannot just rely on June Mar forever. They need to get younger to compete with these guys. TNT, already having Jordan heading, looks like a genius organization for securing their piece early. This influx of talent forces the entire league to level up. The pace will get faster. The skill level will rise. The old guard will be pushed out and the new generation will take over. This is the revitalization the PBA has needed. We have complained about the PBA being stagnant. Well, injecting the 3 best young players in the country into the league is the adrenaline shot to the heart we have been waiting for. Chapter 6, the Gilas endgame. Ultimately, all roads lead back to Gilas Pilipinas. The homecoming of Heading, Sotto, Ramos, and Quiambao is the dream scenario for Samahang basketball in Pilipinas, SBP. It centralizes the talent. It removes the variables of foreign leagues. It allows Tim Cohn to build a culture, not just a roster. Imagine a Tuesday practice. At the Meralco gym, you have Sotto, Jumar Fajardo, and AJ Edu battling in the post. You have Dwight Ramos, Jordan Heading, and Scotty Thompson running the perimeter. You have Kevin Quiambao and Jamie Malonzo on the wings. And they are all there. No visa issues. No flight delays. No waiting for club release. They practice together all year. They play against each other in the PBA, sharpening their skills. Then, when the FIBA window opens, they are already a team. They don't need 2 weeks to learn the plays. They know them. They don't need to learn each other's names. They are brothers. This is how we become a top top 20 team in the world. This is how we make the Olympics. Not by sending our players away, but by bringing them home and building a fortress. So, what are we looking at here? Are we looking at a step back for our young stars? Absolutely not. We are looking at a strategic consolidation of power. We are looking at the Philippines deciding to bet on itself. Jordan Heading has started the fire. He has shown that you can come back, dominate the local league, and wear the flag with pride. He has proven that the PBA is a viable, competitive, and respectable platform for elite talent. Now, the ball is in the court of Sotto, Dwight Ramos, and Quiambao. The rumors are loud. The contracts are being drafted. The fans are waiting. If this pushes through, if we see these three giants of the game suit up in PBA uniforms for Season 51, we are witnessing the dawn of the Golden Age. We are witnessing the moment Philippine basketball stopped looking for validation from the outside and started building its own powerhouse from the inside. To the fans, get ready. Save up for your tickets. Because if Sotto, Dwight Ramos, and Quiambao step onto that PBA floor, the roof is going to blow off the Araneta Coliseum. The atmosphere will be electric. The rivalries will be legendary. And Gilas Pilipinas will be stronger than ever before. This is not just news. This is history in the making. The boys are coming home. And the league and the world better be ready. That is the deep dive for today. I want to hear from you in the comments. Do you think Sotto should play in the PBA, or should he keep chasing the NBA abroad? Which PBA team is the perfect fit for Dwight Ramos? And can Jordan Heading lead Gilas to the promised land? Let's argue, let's debate, let's talk basketball down below. If you enjoyed this extensive breakdown, do not forget to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update on this developing story. We are tracking this 24/7. As soon as the ink hits the paper, you will hear it here first. This has been your host, signing off. Stay safe, keep ballin', and Laban Pilipinas.